I am giving away an ultimate descendant of your choosing. I haven't even got one for myself yet, but to pay back to all the nice support I've been having lately, let's give one away. If there's enough interest, I might do some more in the future. So yeah, it's going to be cool and it's going to be fun. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, subscribe, and put notifications on if you want. If you want to, you don't have to, but make sure you subscribe. And leave a comment down below telling me who your favorite descendant is and why, because I want to see some funny, silly comments. Enjoy the video. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Valby and her transcendent module, Supply Moisture, because it is utterly broken and makes firing with your gun utterly insane. I will explain why. But first and foremost, I am using my Thunder Cage kind of crit build that I'm kind of working out. You know, I got a couple of things on here because I was fighting a Colossi, so I have to take some stuff off, but for the most part I'm going for a critical build, and obviously the more crits you hit, the more damage you do. So to improve that critical chance, we use Supply Moisture. So Supply Moisture is basically, while you're on water, increases skill critical hit rate, skill duration, and firearm attribute trigger rate, but it also adds on something else, which is firearm critical hit rate by 20%. Now it does not take your base crit chance and makes 20% of that additional to your base crits. It takes what your critical hit rate is and adds 20% on, so you can pretty much hit critical hits all the time. It is absolutely insane, and for that reason I am going to rank it up. So I'm going to get it down to 4 capacity cost, but it's going to cost me a whole bunch of my gold. I'm going to have to go do some gold farming, but who cares, because it's amazing. So let's do it. I now have that down to 4 cost, and I can now invest into other things if I want to. So at the moment, this is kind of my Valby build that I am putting together and working out. We obviously have non-attribute specialist and dimension specialist. This lines up with her moves over here. So we have non-attribute and dimension on the cleanup, which is a really powerful move, and also it works with plop, so more damage and increases the duration, and just everything is just better across these two moves. The bubble bullets and the laundry bomb still very good, and you basically don't really need the fusion damage increase. It could work really well with bubble bullet, but it's so all over the place. Sometimes you'll throw it and if it hits any kind of incline, it will bounce off in another direction, so it's not worth building into in my opinion. But these two are, so those are what I'm looking to build into. Then we have increased HP, so I'm not as squishy. HP collector, so I can kill things and get my health back every 2 seconds. This is very good when I'm throwing out my cleanup, because I leave that on a trail behind me, people run on it, they die, I get my health back. I've also got increased defense on, which I may swap for something else, but right now it just works in the way that I want it to work. We have skill extension, so it makes those things last longer. All those moves I'm talking about last longer. Skill range might be a good thing here too, but at the moment I just don't have that. So skill critical hit damage plus 97.8%. I need to upgrade this once to get it to, I'm assuming, is like 99%. That is very important for Valby's moves, because you're dropping all this water down, people are running onto it, you want more critical damage for when those things land. All I need now is skill critical hit rate increase. That's kind of what I need. So if I use my cleanup right here on as many of these enemies as I can, you can see that I'm doing a good amount of damage, and with the extension that's going to go on longer. I'm standing on the water, so you're going to see crits happen more often, but because that crit chance is low, it's not going to be as, you know, often as say something like the gun, which we're going to look at the moment. So as soon as I can, you know, bring down the cost of everything else and put on crit chance for skills, I'm going to be hitting those crits a lot. But let's look at why we're here. The Thunder Cage crit build that I have. First and foremost, let's just throw it on to being empty. So if I run up to these enemies and I shoot them, you can see that, you know, I'm getting quite a lot of crits hits, right? That's pretty good. But if I throw out some water and I stand on it and then do it again, you can see that those crits happen a lot more, a hell of a lot more. Let's do a big one, a big bit of water, just to make sure that I'm on it properly. Right, so that is a lot more crits happening over the space of time I'm standing on some water. But that is bare bones weak. Let's have a look at the full build one. I'm gonna have to wait for this water to disappear. So you can see that I'm doing roughly 157,000 on a crit, and it happens quite often even without the water. You know, pretty goddamn good. But with the water, it becomes obscene. You can just and just get pure crits. Now, I was using this earlier and doing around about 175,000 damage while I was on a live stream, and when I was fighting the Colossus, I was using it with my Tamer. My Tamer's got low crit chance anyway, so it wasn't do that much, but it helped me beat that Colossus fairly easy, to be honest. So the way this works is if I show you when I'm not on the water over here, you can see that my firearm critical hit rate for my Thunder Cage is 27.8%. I could probably get that higher with some other mods, but for right now I'm happy with where I'm sitting. But if I fire out some water and I stand on it, you can see that now that is at 55.6%. So 50% of the time I'm getting a critical, which is just obscene. And honestly, I don't even know if supply moisture is supposed to work like that. It feels like it's a glitch or a problem, but you can hit a lot of damage very, very quickly. And when I get all my skills up and everything and get the full crit build that I usually use on my Thunder Cage, actually I might just do that now. So this was what I had partly built, but I changed some of the module slots and I hadn't upgraded a lot of the things. So I was just basically going on with critical damage and critical rate. So reload insight, I had this on this slot here, and then later on I added concentrate support ammo, and I figured like it doesn't really matter which one's on which. Then edging shot, obviously huge improvement to the critical rate, but this actually works off the base 25%. It doesn't just add 25%. Then obviously everything else you can see here is all about crit hit and crit rate. So here it says on these options, the firearm critical hit rate is 67%. If I come out into here and I show you this one, it is at 33.4%. So honestly, I don't know which one is correct. I'm guessing the one that says 67+% whatever is when everything is working at the same time, and then this is just like the base one. So now if I throw out some water and we go over here and we check it, you can see now that I'm at 66.8%, which is just insane. This one stays at the same amount of percentage. So let's see what that's like now. Let's go drop some water nearby. Didn't mean to hit you, mate, but it's fine. Whee! And then we fire. You can see now that I am getting way more criticals just because I've put on a bit more crit hit rate and standing in my water. It's honestly stupidly insane. And I really need to sort out my Thunder Cage because I put so many of the wrong mods on that I didn't want. So supply moisture mixed with critical hit, you know, is just very, 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 very silly. And honestly, it makes Valby very viable and makes me very happy because I wanted Valby to be my main. The only issue that I've come across, well, not really an issue, but if I'm fighting like a Colossi who's constantly walking around, I'm having to walk over to meet him, throw out some water, get on top of him, shoot him, and then he'll move away. So I have to run somewhere else and then drop some water over here and do it again. Whereas like in a mission or something, I can just like drop a bit of water and then just stand there shooting things. So fighting Colossi is just a little bit more intricate of getting around and placing water in the right places. And then obviously you're using your skills, not really getting your MP back unless you're killing the little guys. So it can be a little bit awkward on Colossi, but it does work and it's just utterly phenomenal. And that's about it. That's the video. That's Valby. That's supply moisture. A little bit of a build, you know, not perfected, but that's just what I'm using right now. Honestly, I still get quite a good crit hit rate even without water. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If it helped, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. If you want to know how to get supply moisture, I made a video the other day on it as well. So I'll link that down below and you can check that out. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy Now. You guys have been awesome.